Hey guys, it's Chris. I'm in with the Just for Flips podcast, and today we have Brandon Morgan. Brandon has helped me with my social media, had a very kind of interesting start with my social media. I tried to build my own studio at first, and then I hired a guy to follow me around, which is a little weird and uncomfortable, and I was just in the middle of this no man's land of the social media, the Instagram, the Facebook, and Brandon has helped me tremendously. So I thought I want to have him on here because number one, obviously he's got this brand new studio that we're in, which is super cool. But he was a real estate guy, entrepreneur, and then got into this space. So I thought it was a nice combination between real estate. Maybe this will help you with your social media as well. So, Brandon, thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, man. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
So, in my own studio. This is the first podcast that I'm doing in my own studio.
I know, you're sitting back here.
Right? So, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so, first of all, tell us the leap from real estate to, getting into digital marketing or whatever. I mean, whatever all this is called, actually.
So originally this was all a hobby for me. Okay. So in 2019, 2018, I was, running a big team. We had 25 agents selling 100, 125 homes a year. I think 2020, things started to change a little bit. So at the end of 2019, I said, I was kind of following some people on YouTube, and I'm like, I'm going to make a video every day for 2020. So January 1st, I got new camera. I got all this cool gear. I spent at that time what I thought was a lot. It was like $500 for a camera. I got the M50 from Canon, which was kind of a shit camera. But and I went out every single day of January, making a video every single day, editing it at night, posting it the next day, and doing that. And I actually did that all the way up to, March 15th when the world shut down.
Yeah.
So
COVID action.
COVID action, yeah. But what was cool was during COVID, everyone started getting online and watching YouTube videos. So all throughout, the only reason that I kind of got through 2020 was because of the videos that I produced for myself. And they were funny. They were me walking through new builds, and I'd go to a new build every single day. And we had a lot of new builds being built right before COVID happened.
Right.
And so I'd go to another community, and I did a community spotlight kind of thing. And I would have myself walking through a house, and I would record myself with a GoPro and my camera. And I would have 4 versions of myself in the house, kind of doing one guy was in the background drinking a beer while the other guy was, straightening a pillow. So they were kind of interesting videos, but that got me through COVID. I sold, I think that year, 5 or 6 new builds because of my videos.
Okay.
I think I did in the COVID times, we were still able to sell real estate, but it was cool because they were just coming to me. And I said, wow, this is video really is huge. So right after COVID, I picked up a couple clients that wanted to do videos like me. One was, a lot of people know Justin Mercer, Tattooed Realtor.
Okay.
He was one of my first clients. Another agent named Amanda Stinkmars was one of my first clients. Then Fidelity came to me and wanted me to do everything with Fidelity.
Right.
And
that's how I met you.
Yeah, and that's how we met. And then the fourth client was a lender named Amber Kovarik. And I decided at that time, and what I realized during that time was that there was no true affordable way to do video, and that was sustainable for a mediocre real estate agent, right? Or an agent that wasn't selling 100 homes a year.
Yeah, they didn't have a full production team.
They didn't. No, yeah. I mean, you could do video, but it was a big risk to do a listing video. And there's some companies in town that have been around forever, but you're spending $1,500 on a full video package, right? So. Yeah. So who gets video at that when it's that expensive? The only people that you're really willing to spend that money on is probably $1 million plus price point. So the first thing I did was I went really cheap. I was like, I'm going to do cell phone home tour videos for $50. That's going to be my niche. Okay. And
how'd that go?
It didn't. People didn't. They immediately said, okay, well, why would I'm going to keep going to ABC media company because I'm going to spend $1,000 because I know what I'm going to get. I'm not going to do that same thing for $50. So I started doing videos, and from the very beginning, I was only selling packages. So I was saying, if you come and see me twice a month, it'll only be $600 or $700 or whatever it is.
Right.
But you're going to do it every single month. I wanted that mailbox money.
Yeah.
right?
Consistency,
So
yeah.
consistent money every single month. And it wasn't until probably 6 months in, until, well, within about the first year, until she's still here. Gabby came and she was doing social media for my own personal real estate team and the business. And she said, we really need to have social media, build out the social media plan. We had a guy named Jackson who was doing it first, and he was like, he was burnt out after 5 clients, so we couldn't scale it at all.
Right.
So Gabby came in and really took over the scalability of the social media side. And what we've noticed is people that are doing it consistently, right, and adding it to their marketing budget are the people who are really winning right now. And that's kind of like what you're doing with podcasts, right?
Well, yeah, I so for me, the podcast is I don't like that whole doing the reels consistently is like boring. It's like, you got to do this topic and this topic.
Right.
I'd rather just have a 30-minute conversation and pick out like, hey, here's 3 to 4 things that we talked about that are really cool. And then, and then just push it out there instead of me sitting behind a desk.
Doing a 30-minute thing and then throwing it on Opus Clip or one of these AI programs, and you can get 10, 12 pieces of content out. And how easy is that?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's great. And then what's cool about these long form content is you just got to have a cool conversation. Like, I'm learning stuff right now about your world that here in the first 5 minutes.
Right.
So from there, how did you step from, okay, you started the videos, and actually I'm going to step back. How would you say the consistency of January 1st through March 15th, how important was that?
I mean, it was a lot of work,
Yeah.
but it was fun. I think that's, the biggest thing for me during that time was just like the goal of, making, 300 videos was the goal. And, it was just something completely different than anybody else was doing. There was a couple of people that still do videos that kind of were doing similar videos to me, but the consistency was, because if I would have just done 2 videos before the world shut down, I wouldn't have gotten shit.
Yeah, but
it was because of that consistency. And actually, some of those new builds that I got, some of the listings that I got that year were because the sales reps at the new build communities saw me every single day doing these videos. Because I would come and do 1 video of a new build, but there was 6 models, so every single day I'd come back and do another model. Right, and then I would do a video of all of them. So they saw me 7, 8 times, and then they were calling me, "Hey, you seem to be the most active agent in this neighborhood. I have a guy, he wants to buy a home. You're not going to get the buy side, but can you do the sell side?" I was like, fuck yeah, I can.
For sure.
Right?
So, yeah, but I'm just like, a lot of people will do the social media aspect, and I've done this myself where I do it and I'm going, then I stop, and then and then I get going. But I feel like if you just consistently do it, like,
I think consistency is good. I think the nice thing about working with someone that's been in the business like I have, because like I said, I was in real estate for 12 years prior to doing any of this, since 2012. So I got my license first in 2012, but I understand red light, green light with finances, right?
Yeah.
There has to be a way of saying, okay, right now I'm going to push hard, and then right now I'm going to scale back.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that, then you're not owning a business. You're just, you're playing the hope game. So, we do have clients like that. It's like they forget about they pay every single month, but I haven't seen them in 3 months. Like, don't do that. Like, the consistent thing shouldn't be your bank account dwindling because of my charges. But, we want to make sure that we understand that you're a business owner. So, working with someone like me, not only are you going to get that understanding, but we have packages in place where it's like, okay, this month we're really going to go hard, and then this month we're going to scale back.
Yeah.
Right. And we're going to keep it scaled back for a couple months, and we're going to keep going. There's a lot of these social media companies out there that stick you with like a 6-month contract where it's like, fuck you, pay me kind of thing. Like, it doesn't matter how bad your business is. You're just hoping that at the end of the 6 months you're going to have business. And, so, we definitely understand that. And the nice thing is a lot of people don't know what to say. So they can come in here without any, homework done, and because they're working with someone in real estate, it's just so easy to come in and just get that content done.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stop right there, just because when I first came in here and I was working with Brandon, now I work with some other guys, but I was first initially just working with Brandon, and you guys work with all kind of real estate people, but like, obviously, I've slowly gotten a little better at this stuff since the first time I walked in the door. But like, working with you, I I would rip something off and you'd be like, hey, just maybe say it this way.
Right.
Which was a huge, because you understood the business, was a huge ad for me, right? Because I'm already nervous. I'm already don't like the camera, all that stuff. And then you being like, hey, why don't you just say it this way?
Or doing the talkback system, and I know we've done that a couple times. We have people that suck on camera. Like if they look at a teleprompter, if they try to think themselves, they go brain dead. The minute you put in front of these like big cameras, your brain goes, you can't think anymore. So we do this talkback system where we tell them exactly what to say verbatim, word for word, with inflection, and then they say it, and they don't have to worry about, what am I going to say, or am I going to sound stupid, or am I going to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about? And it might be a topic that they don't know about. It might be some finance, about financing, or it might be some, hack to budget better that they really don't know what to say if they're not coached. So, I think that's the biggest value add for agents with working with us, is that they're working with someone and a team. Gabby is licensed. I pulled our office manager, Jen, worked in a Keller Williams office before she was here. A lot of the people, when I look at social media, they have a real estate background, maybe not licensed, but maybe they've been a TC or in social media management for an agent before. So, and that doesn't mean that real estate agents are the only client that we offer services to. We do a lot of stuff with lenders. We do stuff for yogurt shops in town. We do restaurants. We do all that. But our main clients are probably those like 3 to 5 units a month real estate agent that has a marketing budget that wants to kind of grow and scale and work on their personal brand, and definitely hit their sphere, because their sphere is who you're usually talking to when you're doing videos like this.
Yeah, and so do you have a calendar for that 3 to 5 agent, or how an agent that does 3 to 5 houses, and then maybe someone with even a bigger budget? Like,
yeah,
what's the calendar look like?
So our services start at about $800 a month for full management. That's social media and video, and go all the way up to about, I don't know, we have some clients spending $12,000 a month with us. Okay. So there's definitely those agents that have, that are listing 20 homes a month and that are doing a video on every single house plus social media. And then there's people that aren't listing anything, but they want to have the the in-studio stuff and post 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, it's like I said, there's something for everybody. And then there's people that, with restaurants and with businesses and other stuff like that, there's going to be different services. They're not just getting like one video. They're doing, more branding shoot stuff. We even have photographers for branding. We have photographers for homes. We do signs. We do lock boxes. We do everything. So and you can use, when you're on a package, you can use those credits to any service.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So for the guys listening out there, is there a secret sauce to 2 reels a week, a reel a week, a couple stories? How much like business, how much personal?
Right. So social media needs to be social. So when we're managing someone's social media, we tell them that our job is your grid. So it could be two times a month, or 2 times a week, could be 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, doesn't matter. We're going to keep your grid looking really good and professional. That's your storefront, right?
Okay.
That's what people come and look at. Your story is your daily activities and the place that you're going to connect with your audience. No one's going to look at your stories if they haven't found you yet, right? You have to follow someone to really see their stories.
Right.
Or you're going to, if you find a reel that they did, you might go to their stories and say, okay, what is this person up to? But your stories is your day-to-day. So for like your stories are going to be you making offers on homes, you going and visiting flips, maybe having conversations with people about financing and about hard money. The unedited, raw, behind the scenes, Chris. Right.
And I'm just, I'm terrible at that. I only throw out the stories when I'm on vacation.
Right. Stories need to be where you're at 90%. So you need to get online 5 times a day and post a story, because that's where your audience is going to connect with you. Okay. Right. That's where you become important to someone else. Your grid is where you look really good. Right. So I tell people that are doing social media and video with us, we're going to produce your grid posts. Right. You're going to produce your story. Right. Gotcha. So we don't want to mess with your stories. Your story shouldn't be the $7,000 camera stuff, but it can be a repost from that $7,000 camera, right? A reshare, you can put it on there the day that your podcast goes live. That should be on your story. It could have some behind the scenes, whatever that is. But the last thing you want to put on your grid is, and this is pretty harsh, but don't put your anniversary post on your grid. No one gives a shit about it was your anniversary in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Because that's the stuff that resyndicates. The stuff that lives on your grid never goes away.
Right.
So a lot of people don't see it the day you post it, but if you post a reel, they're going to see it in 2 weeks. They're not going to see it today.
Oh, okay.
Right? So your market updates, that's a story post. That's not a grid post.
Yeah.
What's really bad was when the market was moving really fast from, when we were at 3% and the next week all of a sudden we're at 4%, the next week we're at 6%.
Yeah, people are...
Right? If you did a market update and it took them 3 weeks, you're now the stupidest agent in town.
Yeah.
Or you're the stupidest lender in town. Oh, you'll never get that, right? That rate. So I think that market updates, stuff that needs to happen now and be seen now stays on your story. But that's where agents should live. They should be doing the high-end videos, the high-end photos, all that kind of stuff that goes on the grid, and then do the story posts as your candid stuff. And you're gonna resonate with your clients more if you're on your stories. I think the people that interact with your stories are gonna be fed your grid posts more often too.
Yeah. So see, guys, like I'm here doing my podcast, and this was a
little learning moment, right?
I'm sitting here learning how my stuff should be. So.
Yeah.
But this is what's great is I'm going to plug you one more time, like entrepreneur, real estate guy, digital media guy, can show you how your grid should look, how your story should look.
I learned this from my team, just to be completely honest. I suck at social media. If you look at my personal page, it's, a post about the kids from 6 months ago, a funny political meme, and maybe a video of me making coffee in the morning. I'm really bad at it, but my team page is managed by my social media team. That's even, no one's perfect at it. Even the team or the company that is going to do it. I'm focused more on yours than my own. But the nice thing, and I think the biggest plug is, you're working with a group of people, and I truly believe that a specialist is always better than an individual. A group of specialists is always better than an individual. I ran my real estate team the same way. I had listing agents, I had buyer's agents, because I really don't truly believe that you can be great at both.
Right.
And here too, there's people that are great at YouTube. There's people who are great at Instagram. Most of the team is great at Instagram because that's where we think that most people should focus. We have the Facebook experts. We have the experts that are really good at cinematic video. We have the experts that are really good at home tour videos. We have the experts that are good at the stupid pointing reels, that the TikTok stuff, all that. So, like when you're working with Bureau Media, you're working with a group of people that truly know what they're talking about, but you're working with the whole group.
Yeah, and so
right?
And that's awesome because, like you said, Facebook's got a different algorithm than Instagram, which has that
TikTok,
and it's just to try to keep track of it all, and YouTube. Like I put out stuff on YouTube, and I just that one I can't get, like that one just doesn't seem to get any traction.
I think it's just you got to pick one and be really really purposeful, like anything in life, right? Purpose is what when you're purposeful and when you're consistent, it's gonna work, right?
Yeah.
YouTube, you got to put some money behind it. I truly think that YouTube's some money. It's not, it's Google, right?
Yeah.
They live by you.
By checks.
By a check behind it, right? So if you want to do good on YouTube, put $50 behind every post.
Yeah.
Right. Don't think that you're gonna go viral on YouTube. TikTok, Instagram, not so much anymore, but TikTok got so popular because everyone became a fucking TikTok star right when they started, right?
Yeah.
I remember when I first started TikTok, it was in October of 2020. There was a 19, 20-year-old kid in my office who said, I bet I'm better at TikTok than you. And I said, game on. So for 30 days, we had a contest who could get the most followers in 30 days. He ended up with 10,000. I ended up with 18,000.
In 30 days?
In 30 days.
Yeah.
That was a post a day, or 7 posts a day, or 3 posts a day, and it was timed, and it was all this other stuff. But we got addicted to those vanity metrics of shares, likes, views, right?
Yeah.
They hooked us in and they gave us heroin, and we thought that we were the coolest thing. After 30 days, I deleted that shit off my because I spent so much time that 30 days trying to figure it out. Instagram at the same time, like it's crazy to think back when we first started this company, Reels wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
We were still posting horizontal videos on Instagram. Like the whole time during COVID and stuff, we didn't have Reels to watch all day. And it's weird to think back that we didn't have that because now it seems like that's all we have. They were really pushing video during that time. Reels had just come out. So we kind of went really heavy into Reels at that time. But a lot of people were seeing 10,000 views on every single video they posted. Everything on Reels, if you're doing a true reel, under 90-second reel, under 60-second, I believe at that time, then you were getting views.
Yeah.
It scaled back a lot. You're not getting that dopamine hit as much as you were then. Now, we're not seeing as many reels go viral. I think in general, unless you're like, it's a certain niche that is. But
unless like a shark's biting off someone's leg.
Right. So it does take a little bit more work. And what we're really teaching people is to stop looking at likes and shares and all that kind of stuff. Start looking at your following count that you have right now. So let's say average person maybe has 400 followers. Right. If you're getting 30, 40, 50 views on your thing, if you're getting 10% of your following count, and you can look in your professional dashboard and see, out of the people watching, are these new people or are these your followers? You want to get about 10% of your following base to watch your videos, because if you're consistently, if you're at 2,000 followers and you're getting 200 views from your following base, that's amazing numbers, right? You're talking to 20% of the people that already know, like, and trust you. Those are going to be your customers. Then you're adding in a few more. Maybe you're getting 10, 30, 40 new followers a month. Those are amazing numbers. Don't be the person who's just like, if I don't go viral and I don't have 30,000 followers by next week, I quit, right? Because it's not sustainable. And the people that are getting the high views aren't selling houses. You look at these people like the singing or rapping realtor and these other people who are doing amazing big views. They didn't get business in real estate. They got business booking gigs at real estate conferences.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Right? They didn't make money in real estate.
And I did notice that, like, the first, I would say I started Reels, when did I start with you?
Right, 2022.
Yeah, like, I was going to say maybe 18 months ago. Anyway, but, like, yeah, the first, I don't know, I'd say the first 6 months I was getting.
Just killing it, right?
Yeah, I was like, wow, that one went for 3,500. That one went out for like 4,000. Like, oh, this is cool. And now I'll put out something that I actually think is good content, and I'm like,
30 views.
no, it's still like,
it's still 300, 400, something like that.
No,
but
it's like 1,200 or something. Yeah, and I'm just like,
but are you? And if you look at it, if you look at your numbers, I bet you're going to see that a good chunk of that is people that already follow you, and that's what you want.
Yeah,
you want to. Okay, as a real estate professional, one of the hardest things is to stay in front of your sphere consistently, right? I know I struggled with it all through real estate. I was a lot more transactional than I was relational. So if you're, do we need to stop?
We're at 24 minutes.
Just go ahead and hit the big button.
The red one?
Nope.
The one on the back?
On the screen or whatever, there's a square red box.
Oh, yeah.
Hit that, start it, and then stop it. And then this one. Here, I can do this one.
you need your clock in here.
All right. So like I was saying, I was a lot more transactional than relational, right? So it was hard for me to, I would rather do the expireds and the FSBOs than call my database, right? And especially if I didn't call my database for a year, and then I called them and asked them for business, I felt like a kind of a scummy dude, right?
Yeah, like, where have you been?
Right. Where have you? Oh, now that you need money, you're calling me, right? So with the cool thing about Instagram, the cool thing about Facebook, but I think that most people are on Instagram and consuming more content on Instagram, is that when you take all those people and you can do that through your phone or through an email list or whatever, and you're adding those people, you're following them, hoping that they follow back, growing that database that you already have, but then connecting them with them in a different way. Most of our clients say that the calls that they get in the first 6 months of working with us are from people that they already knew or they did business with in the past, who reconnected with them because of the videos and just was like, wow, I see you on social. Oh, what's up, YouTube guy? Or, what's up, Instagram star? It's that kind of stuff. And then they start saying, I saw your video. I saw your video. I saw your video. Then they start interacting with you, right? That's the power of social media. It's that you don't have to call your database every month and do the A's and Z's and the B's and the, you know what I mean? you don't have to, because you're constantly in contact with this big group of people that are consuming your content, and you're becoming that person that is going to be top of mind for them when it comes time to interact with real estate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of being the guy who called at the right time.
Yeah, I get, we talked about the Red Room, the one that I do with Luke, on every Tuesday, and I get people like, dude, I watch you all the time. I'm like,
right.
Really? I'm just on there bullshitting.
Right. But it's cool. But that's that's the power of social media. And if you're doing it consistently and that, you seem like you care, is people are gonna resonate with you on that social, and they're gonna be quiet. It's people that you don't know about that are watching. It's not the people that are starring or liking or anything like that. It's those silent people in the background that are consuming your content. Those are your clients. Those are the ones that are gonna come forward when they need you.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I didn't even, like, when I first started doing this, I didn't even think about like the call to action posts or anything like that. I mean, I'm actually not even really good at it. I'm literally just saying, I think this is a cool topic, or, interest rates are changing, or inventory's going up. And I'm just like putting up that. I'm not actually doing the call to action. Like,
the people that do really, really well on social media are the people that are soft selling and not hard selling, right? You want to watch them and you want to be around them. Like, for example, like Templeton Walker, right? His content was very like low impact content. I want to watch his content because of the way he makes me feel, the excitement that I get getting from watching his content, and then I want to go and do what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right? That kind of content where it's not like, call me if you want to buy a home today. That's not the shit that works. It's the value that you're giving. Like, let me show you how to buy, let me show you what it looks like to actually buy a home right now. Or, like, I just bought a home, or it's the process, it's the talk over videos. That's the stuff that's working right now. It's not the hard sell at the end. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, call me today. That shit doesn't work anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other tips that you can, like, what's your entry level package for the people that are watching that may like, hey,
so we put together a lot of custom packages. So what I would say, if you wanted to find out what would work for you best, like, we have the canned packages, like I said, $800 kind of starting point where you're getting video and social media. But we have a lot of different things that you can do. So what I would say is just go to BeReal. That's a BREAL, no E in the B. BREALmedia.com, and then do a consultation from there. Tell you exactly what you need to do. We give a discount. Anybody watching this, it's $50 off your first studio session. So you would just have to go to that, reach out, book an appointment, and then you come and get 10 reels for $350.
Yeah. And for you guys watching, like I said, I'm on the monthly program. I do one long form, which I get some short forms out of, and then I'll go in the back room and rip off like 8 to 10 reels. That's where you see me talking about the inventory and the 10-year bond and all that fun stuff. And but it's just and for me, I'm one of those guys that watches my budget, so it makes you do it.
Yeah, because we charge you whether you come in or not.
It's on the first of the month. It
comes out no matter what. And I did that on purpose. So people like, well, they didn't do any video. Are we still going to charge them? It's like, my whole thing too is like being that coach minded. Like, I did MAPS coaching. I did a lot of different, a lot of people that I know are in the core coaching and all that kind of stuff. And I work with realtors, lenders, and professionals. So my thing is you made a commitment to do video twice a month.
Yeah. You're
going to either do it or you're going to spend the money on it. Yeah. Right. And I hate to charge people, but at the same time, I'm like, you chose not to do it.
Yeah.
Right. If it doesn't make sense for you anymore, cancel. But otherwise, you made a commitment, stick to it.
Yeah. And I think that because I watch my pennies a little bit, it's kind of that push to make sure that I get here.
Right. You're like, shit, I should have fucking, yeah.
And for those of you that really know me, I spend half my time in Florida and half my time in Phoenix. So I only have two weeks a month to make sure that I get scheduled.
Right.
Or
we can always come out to Florida. It's fine.
Yeah, let's go. Or we could go to the house in the Bahamas. Right. But yeah, it makes you, stay consistent, and even I struggle with consistency. I'm gonna get the what's it called, the DJI
Osmo. Yeah, the Pocket Osmo. Yeah.
It's this little camera right over there that he says you can just pop up.
It's like a stabilized camera. It's
yeah.
neat, yeah.
So I'm gonna add that to the list. So like I said, do my Tuesday videos, I can just
Yeah.
plop it right there.
Does vertical, does horizontal. It's great.
Yeah, so I'll try to get more consistent. So, but anyway, I appreciate you jumping on. I got a great education while I was sitting here for 15 minutes. Once again, I'm gonna say it one more time. If you guys aren't using him and you're in the real estate space, I don't know, the restaurants and all that, great. But like, you know, when I'm sitting here, I'm sitting in the next room behind the camera. Like having somebody that understands real estate is a huge ad, I think. And I mean, you got guys running around doing the videos of the houses and other. I mean, there was an agent I could hear through the wall. There was an agent just ripping off reels right in here when I was sitting out in the waiting room. And so, you know, clearly, you know, the community is obviously doing it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
yeah, cool.